This news program is proudly brought to you by
Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits
and Now Biscuits.
PETA 27th AGM ends after successful hosting by Telecom Limited. Better internet for Papua New Guineans discussed at PETA AGM. And PNG and South Korea to have good business and trade relations. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. We begin with our top story. The Pacific Islands Telecommunications Association 27th Annual General Meeting will end tonight after 3 days of successful meet. Vice President of PETA, Philip Henderson, said a total of 37 countries attended from 110 different telecommunications organizations and companies throughout the Pacific.
Representatives of participating member countries today sat in for the actual annual general meeting. Agendas discussed in the AGM this morning included audited financial statements, appointments of auditors, ratification of members and changes, budget and work plan, amongst other important pointers. Some agendas that were deliberated on during the course of the 3-day PETA conference included digital innovations and regional connectivity in the Pacific, including other significant topics. In an exclusive interview with MTV News, Vice President of PETA, Philip Henderson, gave a brief overview of PETA thus far.
This is the first time we've ever hosted it in 27 years in Papua New Guinea, and it's been a long time coming, but I can say that over 27 years this is probably the most successful PETA meeting we've had. In terms of the facility has been world class, and that's attracted a lot of sponsors and exhibitors for the event, so there's been a lot of networking where we share common issues and challenges across the telecom industry. And after COVID, it's been good to meet up with colleagues that we haven't seen for 3 years.
More so, Mr. Henderson said this is by far the largest and well-attended PETA AGM, hence applauded Telecom Limited for being an exceptional host.
Definitely the participant from our membership has been reinforcing what I just said. This is the hosting by Telecom has been exceptional. People have been very friendly, and the facility itself is world class. There's no doubt about it. This company, as an event centre, is probably the best in the Pacific, I believe.
After formalities of the 27th AGM was completed this morning, participating member countries performed a thank you song to Telecom Limited and the people of PNG as a whole. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
The Director of the Information and Communication Services of the PNG University of Technology, Russell Deka Harada, who was a participant of the PETA 27th AGM, says UOT is a country code top-level domain administrator and has been managing PG domains since 1991. He said they will now work together with the Department of ICT, Dataco, and other internet service providers to provide better internet services to the people of PNG via this domain service.
.pg is the country code top-level domain, meaning it is the internet flag of PNG since 1991. PNG UOT has a journal-like email and enquires domain availability. Also, since last year, UNITEC created a new category for all PNG registered schools, like .edu.pg. Therefore, the Director of ICTS said, through provincial education, it makes it possible for schools to apply the .edu.pg domain. He added that he attended PETA 27th AGM, On behalf of Unitech, because they have a special membership with PETA and academic categories, and they need to connect with other Pacific Island partners.
All PNG registered companies must apply this .pg. Not only big entities, but also small companies, SMEs can apply this .pg. In case you have an IPA certificate, you registered company, active company in PNG, and then you can apply.
He went on to share his experience of attending the 4 days of PETA 27th AGM Business Forum and Expo, stating that he had the opportunity of meeting a lot of PETA members and discussed about capacity building and students training in PNG.
People must apply via email. Currently no portal, but we'll develop a system very soon. But for a while, you can send us an email. Email address is this, dns@pnguot.ac.pg, to attach your this IPA certificate, and then we'll assist you to host your name. Like if you set up a company in Goroka, Apoman Limited, then this apoman.com.pg, you can apply.
Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
Prime Minister James Marape said PNG and South Korea have a volume of trade that stands at 1.8 billion kina. Papua New Guinea and South Korea have very good business and trade relations, and the recent visit of Prime Minister James Marape to the Republic of South Korea has boosted that relation.
Prime Minister James Marape returned from the Republic of South Korea this morning. Upon his arrival there, he was met by the President of South Korea, Yoon Suk Yeol, the Prime Minister, and the country's Foreign Affairs Minister. During an official media conference this afternoon, Prime Minister Marape elaborated on the bilateral talks that was held during his visit to South Korea.
South Korea is not a lightweight nation. Top 10 economy, 10 biggest economy globally. But more importantly for us, they have a very robust and strong trading partnership with us. Our conversation engaged in continued expansion in trade, relationship between both countries, continued exchange at the government-to-government level, as well as for business-to-business and everyday people-to-people engagements.
Prime Minister Marape returned this morning. However, some key government ministers, including International Trade and Investment Minister Richard Maru, are still there, furthering bilateral talks, and will return to the country at a later date. Lindy Suharupa, National EMTV News.
Fisherwomen in Papua New Guinea can now benefit from an innovative fish processing technology to efficiently smoke and market their fish. The FAO Taroi technology is being introduced and demonstrated by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations under the EU-funded Strait program in the country, starting from Greater Sepik.
The FAO Theoria technology, or FTT, is an innovative technology that empowers fisherwomen to own and operate profitable fish businesses. With this technology, the fisherwomen can diversify their products by offering a wide range of textures and flavors, providing consumers with more choices and increasing the competitiveness of fish products. Fish communities in Papua New Guinea face unique challenges, including limited access to market due to poor road conditions and high transportation costs, particularly in remote areas. In addition, the electrification rate is low 13%, which poses a gold chain challenge to fishing communities. The practice of drying fish is not widespread due to high humidity levels, unfavorable weather, and lack of necessary resources. The traditional open fire smoking technique currently being used in the country is energy inefficient and time consuming. Furthermore, the traditional practice is labor intensive, which places a significant time burden on women, fish processors, often resulting in poorly smoked fish that is unsuitable for sale. The FTT extends the shelf life of fish, reducing post-harvest losses and enabling fisherwomen to transport their products over long distance for premium market prices. Compared to traditional fish smoking methods, the FTT reduces fuel usage by 50%, resulting in better working conditions and reduced health risk associated with smoked fish, preparation and consumption. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. The police resurface program in Morobe initiated by former Governor Ginsen Sowanu and Lay MP John Rosso have been a positive impact to the police in Lay. This is according to the Lay Metropolitan Commander, Chief Superintendent Chris Kunyanban.
He says the reservists have really helped in minimizing street vending and other illegal activities. He says the reservists program really helped them in maintaining bus stops like Top Town, Eriku and the main market. He added that the initiative at least helped to minimize the crimes and ensured public safety. Kunyanban says they still need a lot of members to be on ground to help the ratio of the people per policeman. The reservice program started last year and about 100 personnel are now out on the streets conducting policing duties in Lay. Natasha Ovoy, National EMTV News.
The Mount Hagen City Rats Kickboxing Federation has recently affiliated with the International Peace Youth Group to promote and facilitate peace in Western Highlands Province and the Highlands region. International Peace Youth Group is established in 119 countries around the world.
On Monday, the youths from City Rats Kickboxing Federation and 9-in-1 Youths Association, who had taken the initiative of taking care of Mount Hagen city streets, held a peace walk, commemorating the 10th annual Declaration of World Peace and Peace Walk. Nixon Samson Wailo, a UN Women Youth leader, has been organizing the different youth groups in the city for this peace walk. He said the peace walk is a call to the political leaders, churches, police and NGOs to partner with them in delivering awareness on peace and change of behavior.
So big Simagen campaign. Some Sagan and clean and stop nice, and Medicam looking and boss and Simedi. Tarigam looking and boss and Tari. Engam looking and boss and Simena.
Wailo added that all the youth groups involved in the cleaning of Mount Hagen City and maintaining city law enforcement stand ready to work closely with business houses, government departments and NGOs to make Mount Hagen City a safe and peaceful city conducive for people to live in. Florence John Doe, National EMTV News.
Kaminimbit Village Community spokesperson Ronnie Bowie is calling on concerned authorities to look into the alleged oil sheen spill that has contaminated the waterways of Kaminimbit and Mamari villages at Angrom district in East Sepik province. The water contamination has resulted in villagers contracting skin diseases and the marine life badly affected. The spokesperson said that 2 months ago, Water Aid and Provincial Health Authority representatives visited their villages to collect water samples from the contaminated waterways. However, the villagers still await a feedback. And now looking at the Nest Fund market report, the Kina closed unchanged at $0.2830 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, Yokina was buying $0.2745 US, $0.4191 Australian dollars, $0.2492 euro, 37.80 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York closed, gold is trading lower, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed higher, copra closed lower, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading higher and copper closed lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. Moving to overseas news now, homicide detectives in Sydney are investigating the death of a 3-year-old boy who was believed to have been stabbed to death by a man who is now in police custody.
So at this unit complex at Riverwood in southwestern Sydney, police received a call at about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. It was a welfare call from a relative of a woman who is now, of the 45-year-old man who is now in hospital and is in a stable condition. Basically, when police arrived, they found a 3-year-old boy who had been fatally stabbed. They found the 45-year-old man who is now believed to be the father of that child with self-inflicted stab wounds. He was in a critical condition. He was taken to hospital. He's undergone life-saving surgery and is now in a stable condition. Police have said that these kind of crimes and these kinds of scenes are some of the most horrific that they have to attend. Here's a little of what they had to say last night.
Any kind of incident involving a small child is always a tragic incident, and our condolences go out to the extended family of the child. And it's obviously an incident that, unfortunately, police attend domestic violence incidents all the time. We attend 140,000 incidents every year, and unfortunately, some of them end up in homicide.
Reports are emerging of Ukrainian children being taken by Russian troops over the border into Russia. Officials in Kyiv are claiming that more than 19,000 children have been taken.
It is the most anxious journey of these mothers' lives. Dashing to reach the children they've been separated from for 6 months. Ukrainian children sent to summer camps run by Russia and then never returned. Alla tells me every minute now counts. The children have been told they'll be put in care if their mums don't come for them. That means a grueling trip across thousands of miles from Ukraine deep into the country that's declared war on them.
I should never have let him go, but we didn't know. They just took him and that was that. My son had seen explosions. I wanted him to relax from the war, and then this happened. I just hope we make it in time.
Russia has been removing children from parts of Ukraine it occupies. It claims it's saving them from danger. But the International Criminal Court calls this illegal deportation. It's why he is now a wanted man. Vladimir Putin has annexed huge chunks of Ukraine and claims everything there is Russian, even the children. And we've found new evidence of how they're treated. This boy's Ukrainian, dressed in the Z mark of Russia's war on his country. He's a classmate of Tatiana's son, who was also taken by the Russians. Sasha has special needs. His mum had to travel into enemy territory to rescue him. He tells me how Russian soldiers in balaclavas came to his school with guns. They loaded him and 12 other children onto buses and drove off with them. Sasha had no contact with his mum for 6 weeks.
The Australian government has outlined its intention to regulate artificial intelligence, as they say any new form of AI technology will need to be safeguarded to protect the society.
The Minister has released scientific advice to the government and a discussion paper today to open up talks with experts and the sector about what to do with AI. Although artificial intelligence has been around for some years, it's really blown up in the public sphere in the last 6 months or so. And the Minister says while there are great benefits towards it, there can also be some serious threats to democracy, and AI is something which would impact multiple arms of the government. Recent tools which have made it quite open and available to the public. There are now concerns that it could help spread misinformation, deep fakes, racial discrimination, and there are some more grave fears within the community. The Minister also says there can be great benefits towards AI, noting that in medical research it could help identify cancers. So scientists say that AI could potentially be involved in almost every aspect of life in the future, from banking and law to education and the creative industries. And the Minister says now is the time to talk and consider about regulating AI so Australia isn't lagging behind.
The White House has expressed that they do not know who is responsible for a drone attack in Moscow earlier this week.
2 people were injured when Ukrainian drones struck wealthy districts in the Russian capital. White House National Security spokesperson John Kirby says Kyiv has denied responsibility and it isn't appropriate for the US to investigate. He says the United States does not support attacks inside Russia.
We don't have any specific information that tells us who is responsible, and it's not like we're going to go out and investigate this. It's not that wouldn't be appropriate for us to do. We do not support attacks inside Russia, and we do not enable and we do not encourage attacks inside Russia.
You're watching National EMTV News. Trukai Sports is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The inaugural Oceania Football Confederation Challenge officially kicked off today, which saw the Fiji Labasa Women FC go head-to-head with Samoa's Kiwi FC. The Labasa side came out to win the match by a dominating 6-0 at full time.
The icebreaker goal was scored by Labasa striker Sophie Dialowai after a 40-minute sprint 8 minutes into the opening half. The Labasa side was not done when Stella Naivalulevu secured another goal 10 minutes later to double their lead. Stella then scored another point for her side at the 24th minute through an open goal, which saw her side dominating the first half by 3 points as the Kiwis trailed scoreless. In the second spell, the Labasas extended their lead with an additional 3 points to take up a 6-0 full-time score. Following their win this afternoon, Labasa head coach Arthur Simons commented on his team's performances and highlighted their key areas of improvement that they will be focusing on ahead of their next game.
So we've got the first 3 points, and then that gives us an advantage of, that we're not down like by a draw or a loss, so that's good for us. At least the finishing. We missed quite a lot of sitters and could have been a bigger scoreline. Yeah, so that's something we'll have to work on tomorrow.
Samoa's Kiwi FC head coach Leti Tamasese said the performances of her team this afternoon were exceptional, but there are a few areas of improvement that they will be working on.
Assessing my players, first of all, they did well, even though we lost. But I saw that they performed the best of their ability, but it's just that things didn't go go the way we wanted to go. But try and push the girl more in terms of their fitness and you know, their positioning and maybe the formation. Yeah, that's something we have to look at for our next game.
Meantime, the main tussle of the day is underway with the kickoff at 5 p.m. local time at the Sir Hubert Murray Stadium as host nation PNG South Korea United FC go up against the New Caledonia's AS Academy Feminine in the second contest of the tournament. Lisa Punichukai Sports.
Head coach for Basilics Mullings, Peter Waigas, said the last game of CDF Cup was in 2019 and was on hold due to COVID-19. He said this year it will be a different ball game and different rules. Since the last tournament of the CDF Cup in 2019, participating teams from various parts of the country will converge in Leh for the 2023 Chief of Defence Force Cup later this year. During the team's training session, coach Peter Waigas said this year will be different.
The game it's going to be quite different for most of our boys because most of our boys are new to the game. Also, it's the new concept is going to be played. The 15th code, so the game is going to be a bit tough for the boys. So we've been reading the boys with the training and also the ruck areas, where to play, what to do, what not to do.
He said that teams will represent their own base when the game kicks off. From Port Moresby, about 6 teams will be sent to represent various defence bases in and around Port Moresby.
The game was played in 2019, so it's 2023. So it's been a while for the boys to some of the players. Everybody's not a seasonal player, so that's why we started early to prepare the boys. I know the game is going to be pretty tough.
He said this is also good to bring together PNGDF officers, both male and female, and to participate in sports. Meanwhile, training will still continue for the teams before the main event in Morobe province. And Basilics Mullins today carried out their training session at Murray Barracks ahead of this year's Commanders Cup. Head coach Peter Waigas said while many are new to the team, it is better to start training early. Head coach Peter Waigas said while many are new to the team, it is better to start training early. Basilics Mullins today carried out their training session at Murray Barracks ahead of this year's CDF Cup this year in Morobe province.
Today is one of our training sessions that we come running in the afternoon there. We've been training for the last 2 months. Now we're in the camp currently. I believe that we are prepared well from the start, so we have a good number of players in the team.
He said training the team ahead of the competition is better, especially when most of the players of DF officers are new.
Our 2 winning, we won the games in 2017 and also in 2019, the Commanders Cup. So we're also trying to win the season coming up this year. And
with 6 teams to travel to Morobe from Port Moresby, he said it will be different this year as it will be the 15th competition.
We have been preparing well for the game. Also the game will be held in Leh, and all the units in PNGDF will be taking part. So I know it's going to be quite tough game. So as for the Mullins team, we have to prepare for that.
The tournament, after 4 years due to COVID-19, will take place this year in June in Morobe province. That ends Trukai Sports. The weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. True Kai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Moresby mostly fine. Daru and Kerema partly cloudy. Alatau and Popondetta cloudy periods with few showers. In the Momase region, Ley and Medang cloudy periods with few showers. Wewak and Banimok partly cloudy with brief showers. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau and Kavieng partly cloudy with few showers. Kokopo and Rabaul cloudy periods with few showers. Kimbek cloudy periods with some showers and possible thunderstorm. Buka cloudy periods with some showers. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen cloudy periods with some showers and possible thunderstorm. Goroka and Kundiawa cloudy periods with some showers and possible thunderstorm. Mendi and Wabeg cloudy periods as well with some possible thunderstorms. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Islands to Gulf of Papua to Kerema to Yule Island to Port Moresby to Hood Point to Samarai Islands seas 2 to 3 meters. Waters of Samarai Island to eastern and western Milne Bay Islands to Cape Vogel seas 2 to 3 meters. Waters of Cape Vogel to Ewan Gulf to Finschhafen seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters. Waters of Finschhafen through Viti's Dampier Straits to CSC and Long Islands seas 2.5 to 3.5 meters. Waters north of Long Island to Medang to Wewak to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border seas 1 to 2 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands seas 1 to 2 meters. Waters of East New Britain and New Ireland seas 1.0 to 1.5 meters. Waters of West New Britain seas 1.5 to 3 meters. Waters of Bougainville seas 1.5 to 2 meters. Ocean forecast, Coral Sea sees rough southeast winds of 25 to 33 knots. Solomon Sea sees moderate southeast winds of 15 to 20 knots. Bismarck Sea sees moderate to rather rough southeast winds of 15 to 20 knots. And Pacific Ocean sees moderate southeast winds of 10 to 15 knots.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Thursday, 1st of June 2023. From the entire news team, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.